Greetings, dear friends. Happy Monday to you, my dear. Hope you had a beautiful weekend. It's Moira here with our usual check-in to see how are things going, how are you feeling, and we're going to look at this week's letting go theme or the vibe of it. As you know, the whole idea of letting go is it's basically looking at ourselves introspectively and figuring out what patterns, what habits, what mindset, what dialogue, what doesn't serve the best auspicious version of who you are. And what I love to do too is to check in with the planets, the moon, the energies, and I encourage you to do the same too, is to just be aware. I find that tracking the moon is really important because the moon is like the reflection of you. This is where the I am essence at your core is kind of being governed or influenced by the flow of what the moon's doing. So all that being said, in 4 days, on the 10th, I believe it is, we'll see the first quarter moon in the sign of Pisces. And the vibe of what we're sitting in, it's all about kind of getting clear on what is the illusions, what are the blocks, what are the filters that you look at things through, whether it's a belief or a mindset or an intention or a goal. This is beautiful energy for us too, because we are now in the final month of 2021 and now we're starting to look towards 2022. 2022 is going to have a lot of creative, optimistic, nurturing, feminine-based energy. So I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to that. But this is the beautiful month to actually really look at what is it that you want to, what do you want to achieve? What do you want to feel? And when I talk about that, I'm talking about the big picture intentions. Like, I don't know about you, but I want to experience peace, calmness, prosperity, happiness, joy. Those are the types of things that will then, if you can hold them as your kind of GPS or governing principle, then everything else kind of falls into alignment with that. So all that being said, let's start looking into what is your peace? Is it that you want to, is it compassion? Is it sharing? Is it making a difference? Is it, you fill in the blanks and feel into that. Now, I'm really excited because I just wanted to kind of preface our letting go session with that piece around the first quarter of the moon in Pisces. So there's going to be a wee bit of a sense of reflection, maybe some downtime, and just checking in, are you in alignment? And when I do this, it's like aligning your head, heart, and higher self. Are you feeling into the guidance of your intuition? So all that being said, why I wanted to really focus on that for a moment is this week what we're going to be focusing on letting go of is caring what others think. That's a big one. You know, we kind of get caught up in this of judging ourselves based upon what we think other people think of us, which is actually none of our business anyway. It's just kind of a wee bit of that's part of how we compare ourselves to other people. And it's also a wee bit about how we don't feel confident enough in our own self. Maybe you undermine your intentions because you think, oh, who am I to aspire to that, or dream of that, or create this, or wish for that? Who am I? Other people deserve it more, or other people have all these qualities and I don't. So what piece of that comes up for you? Caring what others think. Do you hold yourself back or limit yourself in some way because you don't want to be judged, but it's actually in your head? You're thinking that you would get judged. All too often, people aren't thinking of you. You know that? I find that sometimes too, is we can create huge stories about, oh my God, this person's going to judge me or think this of me. And it's not true because you are not taking up that kind of space in their own thinking. They're too busy, maybe even thinking what you think of them. So can you just let that go? Of course, we want to operate with compassion and kindness, right? So it's not to go the opposite end of the spectrum and just be you know, so driven that you step all over other people's feelings. You want to be courteous still, but you don't, that idea of caring too much about what people think, it's this judgy piece. So feel into that. Let me know if you have any other ideas or places where that might come up for you. But let me read out to you what I've written here about this idea of letting go of caring what other people think. And I start with a quote from Peace Pilgrim. When you find peace within yourself, you become the kind of person who can live at peace with others. It's always an inside job. Finding that peace is already there. You just need to find it or access it or surrender to it. Let it flow. Let yourself speak from that deep, deep well of inner peace, inner wisdom. That's that whole aligning with your head, heart, and higher self also, right? So when you're too concerned with what other people think of you, trying to please everyone, you lose touch with yourself. You lose your sense of balance and you lose control over yourself and your own life, right? Because there's nobody sitting saying, what do you need and want? What makes your heart sing? You know, when we access what makes our heart sing, we actually give everyone else around us permission to do the same, but we also ripple it out. So it's like that's the direct reaction, is that we feel it, but then it creates this beautiful wave of everyone around you finding what makes their heart sing. It's a very beautiful thing. So reading on here, whereas when you no longer care about what other people think of you, you start being yourself and you start behaving in the way that you've always wanted to, but you couldn't because of all the restrictions and limits you imposed upon yourself. So this is really important, beautifully timed for us to be looking at letting that go under this influence of the new moon in, sorry, it's not the new moon, the first quarter. I'll get there. There's 4 phases that we watch, but it's the first quarter in the sign of Pisces. So this is really pivotal in looking at you're clearing the way for bringing in a new year of you. So all that being said, just breathe that in. This is not about putting pressure on yourself or woulda, shoulda, coulda, any of those types of things. It's just being aware of, are there pieces of, you know, giving other people's opinions authority over your choices or your desires? Is that part of what you want to let go of? So let's pull a tarot card. I like to pull 1 tarot card and then we'll do 3 of Doreen Virtue's Healing with the Angels. See what we can get around this idea of letting go of that propensity to care about what others think. Oh, this is beautiful. For you, those of you who have seen me do the tarot readings live before, we've got the Fool. This is my absolute favorite card of this tarot deck. The Fool is the beginning of a new cycle. But it's not only it's the beginning of a new cycle, but it's actually based completely on implicit trust. The Fool knows that he can step forward with a sense of groundedness in what makes his heart sing, what makes your heart sing, but there's huge trust. The Fool knows that the universe has his back, and so all he has to do is play with the gifts that's right in front of him. So it's very much about staying present. What do I feel about myself here? What makes my heart sing? What makes me feel like I am aligning with the truth of me? So that's what's possible when we really get into this idea of being true to who you are. Not based upon what you think you need to be in order to, you know, fit in somewhere or belong to something, because that's actually not true. When we play roles like that, we're actually not really fitting in. We fit in the best by being the truth of who we are and sharing our own unique gifts. So take another deep breath on that one. Maybe even put your hand over your heart as we pull these 3 angel cards to see what kind of support or guidance. And this is awesome. Watch what we've got here. So this is beautiful that it's actually helping us see that guardian angel first. So, you know, if you feel like you have to do things in a certain way because everybody else around you is, or it's that's kind of that group think, and you want to belong, or you want to feel like you are a part of a group, always remember that you are a part of a group. You do have guardian angels or connection to source, connection to your higher self, energies around you that you can actually just breathe into. And the more you do that, you awaken your own innate power. We are all so much powerful than we actually give ourselves credit for. That reminds me of that Marianne Williamson quote where she talks about what frightens us or scares us is not that we are tiny and powerless. What scares us is we are humongously powerful. We are beings of the light. And when we focus on that, then we actually are the blessing to in the world around us, but we also, tap into that blessings, the blessings that are all around us. Beautiful timing for these cards. I hope this serves you. As always, if anything comes up for you that you want to go in a wee bit deeper or get some help, the idea of letting go is very simple, but it can get a bit complex if there are layers. And so if you can let go of something by just becoming aware of it or writing it out or speaking it out, that's great. But other times you need to get the help of a coach or a healer or a therapist of some kind. So if that's the case, please reach out. Please let me know. I'm here to help you let go of everything that limits you or keeps you from being the beautiful, bright light that you actually really are. Much love to you. I wish you a beautiful week ahead. I'll be back checking in with you again next week.